Alright, what is up, guys? As you can probably tell by the title of the video, I am currently injured, and as you can see, I'm just kind of laying on my couch. You can see my foot propped up in a splint. And yeah, so I'll go over exactly what happened. So about, I think like 2.5, almost 3 weeks now, I was riding my local trails, and I usually just ride like the pump track line or like the tabletop line, but I wanted to finally start hitting like the gap jumps or whatever, and finally got enough courage to hit the first one in the line, hit it a few times, just rode off to the side, and then finally said, fuck it, I'm just going to send the second one. And as soon as I went off the lip, I just didn't feel like I had enough speed. I just made a quick split decision and decided to bail off the bike. So I ditched the bike from under me, and that kind of threw, like the way I threw my bike, I like pushed it to the side, and it kind of like threw my whole weight off and like threw me more to the side of the jump. And I was probably about a good 10, maybe 15 feet in the air. I was pretty up there, and just came down straight on my feet. I landed my left foot like kind of into the landing of the jump, and then my right foot was like up, like higher up. Because like obviously like the jumps are a little lower than like the regular level of the ground. And so yeah, my foot landed in like an awkward position, instantly just kind of like collapsed, was on the ground, knew that it was not, something wasn't right away. Wasn't sure how bad it was at the time, but I knew I messed my ankle up pretty bad. And a couple of the people that were there kind of ran over, helped me up, and I ended up driving home, which I would not recommend doing, because it's very hard to drive with your left foot, because I messed up my right foot, and so when I'm trying to drive, it just hurt too much, so I just had to use my left foot, and it was just so awkward, like trying to drive with my left foot. But eventually got home. Next day I went to urgent care, and they did some x-rays, and they were like, yep, you fractured something in your foot, not exactly sure, all the injuries or whatever. And they recommended me to go see an orthopedic. And so I went to go see an orthopedic the next, or maybe like 2 days later. And so yeah, got more x-rays from them. And he had told me that he wanted me to go see a surgeon. And because he had said that I fractured the tibia, like the bottom of my tibia on the bottom of my foot, like on the heel or whatever. And so he wanted me to go see a surgeon because there was like a gap in between my tibia. Oh, that's my ice machine going. I'm going to pause that so it's not super loud. Oh, I can't reach it. Alright, my bad. I'm going to show you that real quick. So I got this fancy ice machine right here. I got like the ice pack or whatever inside of the splint, and then there's like this hose thing, and it just pumps like cold air onto my foot. As you can see, this is my nice little setup. Just been chilling on my couch. But yeah, so anyways, before my ice machine decided to interrupt me, he wanted me to go see the surgeon because there was a big gap in between my two bones, and so my ankle is just like kind of just flopping around, like it had nothing like holding it together. And so I seen the surgeon, and they pretty much right away recommended that not even recommended, they kind of were just like, yeah, you need surgery. And so got a date for my surgery, which was like a week after I originally had seen the surgeon. By the way, I've already done the surgery. I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so then from there, before the surgery, they wanted me to go get a MRI and a CAT scan on it. So had to go do both of those just because they wanted to make sure everything, make sure they knew everything that was wrong or whatever. But yeah, so bottom line, it turns out that I tore all of the ligaments in my ankle and fractured my tibia. So pretty much what that means is all the ligaments is like the stuff that, and I'm not a doctor, so don't quote me on any of this, but it's all of the things that like hold your ankle together pretty much, other than, there's the bones, and then in between all the bones is like the ligaments connecting everything. I tore all of them. Every single ligament in my ankle, tore them all. So that means there's nothing that was holding my ankle together. So like I said, my ankle is just like flopping around. Like there's nothing that's holding it together. So that's why they said I need to get the surgery. So I went, I think it was probably like 4 days ago now today. So it's Wednesday, June, I think 11th. Yeah, June 11th. And I had the surgery June 7th on Friday. So it's been a few days since the surgery. Everything went well, I guess. And I'm not exactly sure what they did. I mean, they told me what they did, but I have a follow-up in like a week and a half from now to like look at the x-rays and see everything they did, and they're going to go over everything. And I think then they're going to put me into a hard cast, and then I'll be in that for 4 weeks. And then after that, I'll be back in a boot, because I was in a boot before I had the surgery. I'll be back in the boot, and then I'll be able to start walking. So 6 weeks from the surgery, I'll be able to start like trying to walk with the boot on. Then it'll probably be another few weeks after that, maybe a week or two, and I'll start like physical therapy and start slowly like walking again and hopefully riding my bike again. It's going to be probably a while. I mean, I asked the doctor, and at first like they told me it could be like 5 months until I can ride my bike again. I'm going to try to ride a lot earlier than that, but I also don't want to push it. You know, I'm going to take my physical therapy serious and make sure I'm back strong as ever, able to ride how I used to. But it's just a minor setback for now. It sucks, but I mean, shit happens. It's part of the sport. You know, there's always risk involved when you ride your bike. So even if you're doing something stupid, I mean, it was a pretty good sized jump, but I definitely shouldn't have bailed off of it. I definitely just like got scared in the moment and just ditched the bike, because I just felt it was just one of those instinct feelings where I just felt like I wasn't like gonna make it at all, like wasn't even gonna clear it or anything, like was not even, I felt like if I stayed on the bike I was gonna nose case. And as soon as I went off the jump, I had that thought in my mind, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking face plant. So I decided to bail off the bike and ended up breaking my foot because of it. But you know, shit happens. I'll be back on the bike soon enough. I'm going to try to find ways to make videos, and I'm going to be getting a knee scooter in like a week or so. So maybe I'll try to like go out to the skate park and film some homies or some shit. It also sucks that it's my right foot, so I can't even drive. And obviously also I'm going to be out of work for a while, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it now. The pain's been getting a lot better. The first couple days after surgery, oh my god, that shit was terrible. That shit was not fun at all, but getting better now. Just gotta hope I can recover as quick as I can. Sucks that it's beginning of summer. I was really looking forward to riding all summer, but not gonna be able to do that anymore. I'm hoping I can ride like towards the tail end of the summer, like August. I'm hoping I can start like pedaling around. But most likely I'll make a comeback in the fall and hopefully get out of here, fly. Hopefully I can start riding by the fall. But yeah. Oh yeah, so kind of all over the place. But I guess what they put in my ankle, they put a plate. So they made like 3 incisions, like one on each side of my ankle and then one on the top. And they put a plate on the side of my ankle, I think on the right side, I'm pretty sure. And then they put a rope, like a medical rope or whatever, in between my bones that like pulls the bones back together. So now I have a metal plate and a rope in my ankle holding my ankle together. So yeah, that's fucking great, but nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. At least the surgery went well. But yeah, hopefully I'm back soon. It really sucks just being stuck on this couch. I mean, for the past couple weeks, I've just been laying on this couch, and I'll probably be on this couch for another few weeks. But once I can start like walking out with the boot on, then I can, you know, start trying to go out and at least just hang out with people and do stuff. I've just been so bored stuck in this house. Oh, also I forgot to mention, so I think, yeah, the day before I messed my foot up, I was at Farmington, or not Farmington Skate Park. What the fuck am I talking about? I was at Naugatuck Skate Park with Morrow, and I didn't really film like a full like YouTube video. I just kind of like, we were just kind of messing around. I just got a few clips. I am going to insert those clips at the end of the video so you guys get a little bit of riding clips in here. Yeah, I was planning on the next day like finishing that video and like filming more stuff, but I wanted to go to the trails, so me and Mara went to the trails. Actually, he wasn't even there when it happened. He was coming afterwards. I think happened probably around like 2 o'clock or some shit, and he was gonna come like an hour later. But obviously I got hurt, so I went home. And I was gonna go film a video after that, but never ended up doing that. So I'm just gonna throw those couple clips I got at the end of this video though. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Kind of a not a video I would want to be making, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. And it sucks, you know, I just been having injury after injury lately. I just came back from being injured like a few months ago. If you guys have watched some of my older videos, like I had sprained my left ankle and my left knee. Was out for about a month for that. I mean, it was like 2 weeks until I was walking again, but it was like a month until I was like really riding again. So it wasn't too bad. But then of course a few months later I go and break my right foot and have to get surgery. Oh man, can't catch a break, but it is what it is, you know, it's part of riding. I'm still gonna go out and ride my bike. It's, you know, just another fucking setback that I gotta overcome. No injury is really gonna make me stop riding, so, and luckily I am gonna make a full recovery. It's just I gotta just wait it out, really. Just take physical therapy serious, and hopefully I can get back on as quick as I can. But I'm not gonna rush anything. Like I said, just gonna keep on fucking going and hope this shit gets better, because this is not it. But yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to mention. So when I went to the orthopedic right after urgent care, they had told me that they had seen what seemed to be an old injury in my ankle. So back in 2019, which was like 5 years ago now, I sprained my ankle pretty bad. I went to urgent care, and it was my right ankle. I sprained it pretty bad. Went to urgent care. They said I sprained it. Said I'd be out, you know, back in like 2 weeks or so. I ended up being on crutches for like 2.5 months or something like that. Like, couldn't walk on it for like 2.5 months. And I never ended up going to like another doctor. I just kind of dealt with it. But, you know, because they told me it was sprained. So I was just like, okay, it's sprained. Like, I'll be good in 2 weeks. And then a month goes by, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it still hurt. I still wasn't really able to walk on it. But at the time, I was just like, whatever, I guess I'll just kind of deal with it and hope it gets better soon. And then after like 2.5 months, I was finally like kind of back to riding and walking again. Didn't really think anything of it. Just was like, oh, maybe it was just a worse sprain than I thought or whatever. And come to find out, the orthopedic told me there was like small little fractures, like really small fragments of my bone that were fractured on my tibia from way back then. So I've had for 5 years like fractured pieces of bone in my ankle. And that was the other thing they had to do in the surgery. They had to like take out these little fragments of bone that were floating around from 5 years ago. So can't always trust urgent care. They don't always know what they're talking about. But I also should have went to another doctor after it not being healed after 2 weeks, but I never did. And so, yeah, for the past 5 years, I've had a fracture in my bone and didn't even know it. And that's probably why I've always had issues with my right ankle. And I mean, I've just always had issues with both ankles, to be honest. I've sprained them and rolled them so many fucking times. Like, it was bound to happen that I was going to break it one day, you know. I've always gotten away with just sprains and, you know, rolled ankles, but finally caught up to me and finally broke it pretty fucking bad and had to get surgery for it. But my ankle should be stronger now. I got metal in it, so I should be able to land these whips a lot better and not have pain in my ankle. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm out of here. I'll give you, if I have any more updates, I'll update you guys. But for now, peace out. Woo.
I'm about to do it.